Hello, fifth graders. Welcome to lesson 9. I hope you all had a restful weekend and I wish you all a great week ahead. Okay? I want to start this lesson by telling you that this class is divided into 3 parts. The objective of this lesson is to continue learning about the uses of past continuous tense. Okay? In the first part of the lesson, you and I are going to review contents from lesson 8. Okay? In that lesson, I reviewed with you 3 important uses of past continuous tense and I give you an assignment. Okay? I have checked that assignment and I realized that many of you have similar mistakes. So what we are going to do is that we are going to check that task together. When I finish that revision, I want you to go to your Google Slide document from lesson 8 and that you make the necessary corrections to make that task correct. Okay? Then, in the second part of the lesson, I will give you a new assignment, okay, that you have to submit to me. Okay? It's also related about the structure and the uses of past continuous tense. Finally, the lesson will end by telling you some important pieces of advice on how to carry out the recording of your storytelling video. Okay, I gather some of the most frequent questions I received the past days in relation to that project, and that's it. We are going to end the lesson by discussing some relevant things to consider about that video. Okay, so now we are ready to start. We are going to start reviewing lesson 8. The past continuous tense can be used in these situations. Situation A, when a continuous action in past was interrupted by another action. The example says the following: I was reading the label when the jar slipped out of my hands. Okay, this example was taken from the video we used in previous lesson. This action interrupted this continuous action in past. All right. Situation B, to describe the atmosphere or express background information or setting of a story in past. The example says, the sun was shining, so I decided to go for a walk at the park. Suddenly, okay, I am about to describe an event, but I need to include background information or describe the setting of this action. How can I do that? By using sentences in past continuous tense. The sun was shining, so I decided to go for a walk. Yeah. In the third example, we are going to use past continuous tense to describe 2 actions which happen in the same time in the past. 2 continuous actions that happen simultaneously. For example, I was sitting in the living room and she was taking a shower. 2 simultaneous actions happening at the same time, right? Continuously. So let's see a few more examples about the first use, when a continuous action in the past was interrupted by another action. So Martin was watching a movie at the cinema when his friend called him. Okay, the continuous action in past was interrupted when his friend called him. Can you see? While we were having the picnic, it started to rain. Okay, so this action interrupted this one. Okay, while the guard was sleeping, we can see here, last night, the robber entered the bank. Okay, so here, please notice how the words while and when are key words in this type of examples. Second use, to describe the atmosphere or express background information or the setting of a story in the past. So we've got a picture here, okay? And I want to describe the setting. I want to express background information. What is happening here? All right, let's see this description. My day at the park was amazing. The sun was shining, the kids were running around, and the adults were doing sports. Also, kids were walking their lovely pets. Okay, this is especially useful when we want to tell a story in past, and we want to start by describing the setting. Yeah, like in a story mountain, when we talk about the exposition, these type of sentences are highly useful to describe background information, atmosphere, or setting of the story in the past. Okay? Finally, the last use that we are learning is when we want to describe two actions that happen in the same time in the past. I've got two examples here, as you can see, with their corresponding pictures. Let's first see the example on the left, sorry. While my mom was opening the snacks, Tommy was blowing the balloons. Okay, once again, word while, it's a key word because both actions happen at the same time. She was doing this while the boy was blowing the balloons. All right. Finally, when the kids were playing, Mom and Dad were watching them enjoy themselves. Two continuous actions in the past. Kids were playing. Mom and Dad were watching them. Okay? So they are continuously happening in a simultaneous way. So now we are ready to take the assignment we had in lesson 8. The idea was to classify these sentences according to the different uses. The first use is a continuous action in past interrupted by another action. There's an example here for you. When I was walking back home, a cute little puppy followed me. The second column, it's about describing the atmosphere or story setting in the past. And the last column is about describing two actions that happen in the past simultaneously. All right? So let's start with this one. This sentence says, he was cooking dinner while she was working at the store. Okay, the correct location for this sentence would be here because we've got two sentences in past, two continuous actions in past. He was cooking dinner. She was working at the store. That happens simultaneously. How do I know that? With the word while, that means at the same time. Okay, let's see this example here. When we were talking in Zoom, somebody made a loud noise. The correct location for this idea would be here, yeah? Because one action, one continuous action in past, we were talking in Zoom, was interrupted by another action. What was that action? That somebody made a loud noise, all right? Okay, let's take a look at this example here. It was raining hard. It was a dark and mysterious night. It sounds to me like I'm about to tell a story. Yeah, I'm describing the atmosphere. Yeah, the background information. So absolutely, we are going to locate this sentence here. It was raining hard corresponds to the atmosphere or the setting of a story in past. Okay? This one. While my mom was working, I called her to say that I love her, which is really true, by the way. Okay, so my mom was working, but I interrupted her with my call. So this action, my phone call, the fact that I called her, interrupted the first action. We're going to locate it here. Okay, this one. My friends were celebrating while I was practicing for the soccer match. Okay, we do have a keyword here, while, at the same time. So this action, the celebration, was taking place at the same time that I was practicing. So absolutely here, two actions that happened in the past. Okay, he was singing really nicely. It was his best performance ever. Okay, am I describing the atmosphere? Do I have two actions happening at the same time? What do you think? Okay, in this case, this description corresponds to the background information. I'm setting the atmosphere. I want to tell more details about that. Okay, let's take a look at this one. When I was brushing my teeth, my little brother was splashing water everywhere. Okay? Do I have two continuous actions here in past? What do you think? I was brushing my teeth. My little brother was splashing water everywhere. Yes, I have two continuous actions that happened in the past. Okay? And the last one, which is quite obvious, but let's take a look at it anyway. It says that everybody was dancing and having fun at the party. Am I describing the atmosphere? Am I probably describing the setting of a story? The setting of a story? It might be. So yes, this is the background information. Okay? So what I want you to do now is that in the case that you have mistakes in these tasks, I want that you use my corrections to make the corrections in your file. Okay? This time it is your task to correct your mistakes. Okay? When you are finishing, once you finish correcting, you will go to the second part of the class. Okay? Well done.